श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. So we saw this beautiful shloka, Shatro mitre putro putre bandhau माकुरु यत्नं विग्रह संधौ सर्वस्मिन्नपि पश्यात्मानं सर्वत्र उत्सृज भेदज्ञानम्. For separation or attachment, don't put forth any effort, because all your effort should be focused only on seeing everyone as self and getting rid of the ignorance of duality, bheda ajnanam. Okay, that should be split as bheda ajnanam, sarvatra utsruja, uproot from the ignorance of duality. Next, Bharati Vamsha. We may not even have heard of these names if at all, if we don't read this text. Bharati Vamsha. What does he say? Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam bhavaya koham atmajnana vihina modhaste pachyante naraka vigudhaha. So again another koham comes here. Bhavaya koham. So he says kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktva atmanam bhavaya koham. आत्मज्ञान विहीना मूढ़ाः ते पच्यन्ते विगूढ़. I am laughing alone. You will laugh along with me after you learn this. In Veka Chudamani, Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, and in Gudartha Deepika also we saw, a person who does not understand the self is a Atmagna Sauchyate. He is the killer of self. Okay. And earlier we saw Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam, Iha Samsare Khaludustare, Kripaya Pahare, Pahi Murare. We said again birth and again death, and this is a cycle which we are going to go again and again. Now he says, Kamam, Krodham, Loham, Moham, Tyaktva. These are important enemies for the seeker. So he says first, that does not mean only this. Kamam, the desire, lust. Krodham, anger. Lobham, greed. Moham, delusion. Tyaktva, by giving up the contradictory things, what should you do? Atmanam bhavaya kohamiti. Meditate on the self. Atmanam bhavaya. Meditate on the self as ko aham. Meditate on the self as who am I. Because Atmajnana vihina mudhaha. Why should I do this? I'm happy with all this. Let me live with that. So he says, Atmajnana vihina mudhaha, the idiots who are devoid of vihinaha. Hina means who don't have. Vihina, visheshena hina, who have completely no idea of Atmajnana, the knowledge of self. The people who don't have complete knowledge of the self, what happens to them? Te pachyante, they are cooked. Naraka niguda, in the Naraka niguda, in the deeper hell. It's not just even a hell, they are pushed into deep hell and they are cooked. Pachyante, te pachyante. So I think they will be suffering in different forms of, because it's all said in the Puranas. When they discuss about, in Vedas you see just the hell and heaven part of it and general way of explaining things. So in Puranas you are explained in detail about the heaven, what are the things which you will be able to enjoy in heaven and what are the things which you will be suffering in hell. So in that hell also there are different levels of experience. It is not just a like they say one size fits all. It is not that. For everyone, there is a it is like a very good software which you can now customize to your requirement. So the help is customized to our requirement. Whichever kind of punyas and papas we need to experience there in hell and heaven and hell. So we will be experiencing that precisely. Nothing more, nothing less. You will only be paid for what we did. So in different levels of, they say, okay, we will be put in a place where the insects will eat us, and in some places where you will be fried. You have to see the old versions of these books where they would have painted and drawn a caricature. It is not drawing, it's a caricature. These fellows with horns, they'll be baking in a big pan of oil. They'll be baking this fellow. He'll be and in another pan, like we cook the fish, a rod in between, and he'll be fried on the fire. So the thing is, if this is not going to threaten us, what will? We don't know. If this is, he's like giving an ultimatum. Okay, if you don't understand, he said, you have killed yourself. Okay, I killed many things. One more, like mosquitoes, I kill. Ants. So, self. Okay. So, you should not take it so lightly. So, he says, you don't just kill the self, you are going to enter into that. This is what is explained in Ishavasya Upanishad. Andhena tamasavritah. They go after death, they go to the hell, which is a completely blinding darkness. So that is what he is repeating here. Okay, but you are not talking something positive. No, nowadays these are things you should be talking positive. So for that, another Acharya, or this is Acharya by Sumati. I think after this, whatever comes, it's all in the name of the Sumati. Sumati, Shobhana Mati Yasya, one who has a very good intellect. That is the person. Knowledge. That is the person who we are talking about. Sumati normally is a very good name for men, but generally Sumati is the name which they give for females. Girls, Sumati. So what we should do? Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram Dhyeyam Shripati Rupamajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam Deyam Dina Jaya Janaya Chavittam. So this song we can see in Bhajagovindam of MS. Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram. Geyam, we should sing. Geyam means to sing. We should sing. Sing what? Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and Nama Sahasram, Sahasranamas, the 1,000 names of Vishnu, the 1,000 names of Shiva, the 1,000 names of deity, other deities, etc. Every deity has 1,000 names. So every deity's 1,000 name will have a Shiva, will have Vishnu, will have this. So it's all almost common. So we have to chant that. Okay. Then what? Is that enough? No. Jayam. We have to meditate. Meditate on what? Shripati Rupam Ajasram. The form of Shripati. Shriyaha Patihi iti Shripatihi. One who is the husband. Pati means husband. Husband of Shri. Shri means Lakshmi. One who is the husband of Lakshmi, which is Vishnu. So we have to meditate on Vishnu Rupam, his form. Meditate on the form of Vishnu. What kind of form is this? It is Ajasram. aja, na ja iti aja, na jatam iti aja, one who is not born, that kind of form. So we have to meditate on that form of Vishnu. Okay. Then what? Neyam sajjana sange chittam. We have to lead. We have to lead our ni prapane is the root word. To lead. We have to lead our mind. We have to put our mind in sajjana sange, in the association with the holy people, in the association with the knowledgeable ones. Sat jana, sat plus jana becomes sajjana, sajjana. Okay, so Stohoshtunaschuhu is the sutra. Sajjana. So Sajjana Chitta. So Satjana. What is Sajjana? Sajjana normally is Sajjana. Both Sajjana. In North India they use this word. Both Sajjana. Both. He is a very good person. He is a very noble person. Very holy person. But Sajjana just does not mean that a good person is Sajjana. We should not just go to this good person. We have to go to this person who is talking about the good, which is the self. There is nothing other than good than the self. There is nothing good other than the self. So Sat Jana, people, Jana means people. People who talk about Sat, who discuss about Sat. That where they discuss about Sat, that group is called as Sangha. That group is called as Satsanga. Sajjana Sangha. So, in that Sajjana Sangha, Neyam Chittam, you have to lead your mind. You have to place your mind, you have to involve your mind in the discussion on the Sat, the self. Then what? So, you have to Gayam, sing, Jayam, meditate, Neyam, lead, then Deyam. You have to give. Dadane, to give. Deyam. Deyam what? Dina Janaya Vittam. Money to people who are poor. Who Deyam, you have to give. So there is a saying. When we give, we have to check the vessel. Patram means the vessel. Vessel means the person who receives it. So it is not just it is said you have to give, just go on giving. Because there are people, if you go to the holy places, as I said the other day, Udaranimitam Bahukrutvesham, people put in all the different paraphernalias for the sake of their stomach. Now, in that group, you can see people wearing a robe of a sannyasi, taking money and going and drinking liquor with that. You can see that also. So, you have to be very careful. Just because it is said you have to give, and these are holy men, you see with ochre robes, oh, okay, give. And what is he going to do? He is going to take that money and drink liquor. And what is he going to do after drinking liquor? He is not going to just sit there. He is going to come and shake his hands like somebody did. He is going to do that. So he is going to talk. He is going to make nuisance. So this is a common thing everywhere. So that should not be, that money should not be cause of trouble for us. We have to be very careful. That is why Dina Janaya, not Janaya. Deyam Janaya Chavittam, he didn't say. Dina Janaya, people who are in that dire straits, who need that money. Who need that. Like when we need 1 lei or 2 leva for parking. So, Dina Janaya. We were Dinas then. At that point of time, we didn't have that and we needed that. So, that is a Deyam. That is what is Deyam means. It's okay. Again, Sumati. सुखतः क्रियते रामाभोगः पश्चात् हन्त शरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम् सुखतः क्रियते रामाभोगः पश्चात् हन्त शरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम्. See, you have to do these good deeds because why we need to be said that? Because these are all good things. We naturally will do that. No. You should be said what you have to do. Otherwise, we will always tend to do things which are stupider. Now he says, Sukhatah kriyate Rama bhoga. Ramu kridaya. So he'll be involved in sensual pleasures, sukhatah, with joy. Without any remorse, with joy, he will be involved in the sensual pleasures. Okay. Then, Paschat, later, when all that happens, when it's all over, then Hantaha Sharire Rogaha. There is a saying, if you don't use, you lose. But that does not mean that if you use, you will make it. There are proverbs in both ways, always. Every time you say something, like forces repel immediately. The birds of same feather flock together. Okay. Okay. So you can say any proverb. There is a contradictory proverb there. So here, like you say, if you use, you lose. Again, it's not just that if you don't use, you lose. You use, you lose. That is why when for used vehicles and used things, we say depreciation. You lose that. At one point of time, it will not even function. So he says, Paschat, later, Hantaha, you are finished completely. Because of what? Sharire rogaha. Because of the roga disease, sharire in the body. You are completely engulfed by the disease in the body. Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam. Though in this world, loke, in this world, maranam, death, sharanam is the final refuge for everyone. Okay. Death takes care of everything. But still, tadapi na munchati papacharanam. Even in death, he will not give up his sinful deeds, his wise deeds. Think of, I forgot the story. There is a story which talks about this person who, even after death, did some nuisance. This person used to always rumor monger, make two people or two groups fight. Always something, he'll say something here, say something here, he'll put each other in contradictory position, and he'll always do this. So he was in his deathbed. So people came to him, what do you want? What, I'm a lonely person, so what will I have? Okay, my only wish is to be cremated in, or to be put in samadhi, buried in the next village, nothing else. What more can I ask for? Why next village? See, we have been fighting all throughout, and I was the cause for that. So I want me to be buried so that I become a bridge for peace. Okay, he dies. When people are happy that good riddance, at least this fellow's body is not in our village, let us take it to. Will the opponent people, the other village people accept? They were already angry with these people, and especially this man. And will they allow him to be buried here? No, it is his last wish. Now, Again, for this body, they started fighting. So even death brings death brings end to everything. But even after death, some people create confusion. So that is why he says, Tadapi na munchati, even after death, even though death brings end to everything, even there they won't give up their act of acharanam, the act, their functioning in the wise things, sinful deeds. This is again chosen in the MS. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tatah shuka lesha satyam. Putradapi dhanavajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihita ritihi. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Nasti tatah sukha lesha satyam. Putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi sarvatra esha vihita ritihi. So what we have to do? Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Artham anartham. What is good and what is bad? Artham anartham. Artham means something which is useful. Anartham means that which is not useful, which is trouble. So always think about what is good and what is bad. This is one way of understanding. Artham. Artham means wealth. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha. Artha means wealth. Artha, the wealth is anartham, is a trouble, cause for trouble. The wealth is cause for trouble. Bhavaya nityam, think about this always. Think about that the wealth is cause for trouble always. Why? Nasti tataha sukha leshaha. If you think about it, there is no sukha lesha, not even sukha. He's talking about sukha lesha. Lesha means small portion. Sukha means happiness. Even a small portion of happiness is not there in that wealth. What do you say? Only when you have wealth, you can experience anything. That is what we think. We are not talking about some little bit of amount. We are talking about wealth. Why? Putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi. He gives an explanation why I am saying wealth is not always a pleasure. Because see, normally if you don't go to that third line or the third piece of the shloka, third statement of the shloka, we normally explain this as a, see, for earning money, you have to work hard. While earning, before earning, you work. After gaining the money, you work to protect it. And after losing the money, you worry. So work, worry. Protect, worry. Lose, worry. So all the three periods, for a moment you think you can have experience of happiness with this money. But earning, protecting, losing, in all the states, it is going to bring only pain. This is how we'll explain. But he gives a beautiful interpretation to that. Putradapi, putrad, even from the son, also, api, also, even from the son, dhanabhajam bhiti. Dhanabhajam, dhana means wealth, bhajam, one who has. The wealthy one, bhiti is afraid, bhi bhaye is afraid. The wealthy one is afraid even from his son. When will this fellow kill me and take all this? We see the kingdom's son killing the father, son arresting the father, all these kind of different things, movie or the real life, everywhere this is the same. So that is why he says, Putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi. It is not, it's just an example. Putradapi, even from the son, means it's just an example. You don't know who is going to be your enemy. At which point, what happens, you don't know. Just today, you see what happened. There was this Chinese conclave, and Hu Jintao, who was the earlier premier, he was taken away from the first row, was taken away from the program. He was the head of China and the communist group, and now he could not even be there in that group. He is the one who selected his successor. So, who will turn what, you can't explain. That is why he says, Putradapi, even from the son, Dhanabhajam Bhitihi. The people who are wealthy, they are afraid of everyone. They are afraid of everyone. Oh, this fellow, he may do something, remove him. Oh, that fellow, remove him. When will this fellow take money? So, even a simple question, how are you, will be interpreted in wrong way. Why is he asking, how are you? Did he mix some poison or something in my food yesterday? Simple question, how are you? So that is the problem with this word. Sarvatra Yesha Vihitada. It is not only with my family or your family. Sarvatra, in everywhere. Sarvatra, everywhere. Yesha Vihitariti. This is the rule. This is the rule. There is no choice here. Everyone does the same thing everywhere. This is the same rule. So, wealth will not bring you the happiness. It is always laden with some or other problems. Then he says, then what I have to do? So, he gives you a good next two shlokas. He is giving you a beautiful way what a sadhaka should do. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam japya sameta samadhi vidhanam kurvavadhanam mahadavadhanam. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam japya sameta samadhi vidhanam kuru avadhanam mahad avadhanam. Kuru avadhanam, mahat avadhanam. Do this avadhanam with complete care, mahad avadhanam, great care. You have to follow these things. Carefully, you have to follow these things. Carefully do these things. What? Pranayamam. Pranayama means prana, the vital air, the life force, whatever that is. So that prana we have to control as prescribed in the Shastras, not according to our own whims and fancies. So pranayama. Then once you do that, then pratyaharam. Pratyaharam means pratyaharam, bringing the mind, the sense organs, from the external objects to the source. So, removing the mind from the external sense organs. Then, nitya viveka vicharam, discriminating what is eternal and what is non-eternal. He brings in both nitya vastu viveka vichara. So the discrimination which we see in any Vedantic text, nitya vastu vivekaha vivekam. So that is what he says here. So what is eternal and what is non-eternal, that we should have to discriminate. Then what should we do? Japya sameta samadhi vidhanam. We have to practice samadhi. Samadhi means samyak adhiyate iti samadhi. Bringing the mind in proper way, proper control. That is samadhi. Establishing the mind properly in whatever object of meditation it is given to. So, That is samadhi. Without it slipping from that state, placing the mind in that object is samadhi. And that we are not talking of a samadhi without doing anything. He says japya sameta. We have to do japa. Along with the japa, we are prescribing the samadhi. So, pranayama you have to do pratyahara, you have to do viveka, you have to do some japa and practice the samadhi. Now, these things should be done very carefully. That is why he says, Kuru avadhanam mahadavadhanam. Do it carefully, but very carefully actually. Mahadavadhanam. Okay. Now, as said in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, the final shloka of Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which we recite whenever we want to talk about bhakti, especially Guru Bhakti, that is what he is saying here. Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarat Achirat Bhava Muktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyamat Evam Drakshasi Nija Hridayastham Devam. Guru Charana Ambuja. Guru Charana Ambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarat Achirat Bhavamuktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyamat Evam Drakshasi Nija Hridayastham Devam. Guru Charana, Guruji, Charana, feet, Ambuja, lotus feet. So Ambuja, Ambu means water, Ja means Jata, that which is born. Like Ja, unborn. Ambuja, water born. That which is born of water, lotus. So Guru Charana Ambuja, the lotus feet of a Guru, Nirbhara Bhaktaha. Bhaktaha, devotee, a disciple, devotee, who is a Nirbhara, who is immersed in. One who is always thinking about a Bharane, who is holding on in his thoughts. That is what is Nirbhara. Nitaram Bharatiti Nirbhara. One who holds the thought of the feet of Guru is that devotee. Okay? Samsara, what happens to him? Samsara, from the samsara, achirat, immediately, without delay. Achirat, chirat means with delay. Achirat, immediately, without delay, bhavamukta, he becomes free. He becomes free from the samsara immediately, quickly. Sendriya manasa niyamat evam. So, sendriya, along with the sense organs, manasa, the mind, niyamat, when controlled, evam, in this way, when you control the mind along with the sense organs, then drakshasi, you will see. See what? Nija hridayastham devam, the deity, the God, the Lord, who is established in your heart. Nija hridayastham, in your heart. That deity you will see. So, with this, we come to the end of Bhaja Govindam. There are some shlokas, some people, they use these shlokas, some 2 shlokas they add. This is not seen in many of the texts. Mudha kaschana vayyakarano dukrinkaranadhyena dhurinaha Shrimat Shankara Bhagavat Shishyai Bodhita Asit Shodhita Karanaha. So, Muda Kashana, it's not there. I am just giving the meaning. Muda Kashana, some idiot, Vayyakarana, who is a grammarian, some idiot grammarian. Dukni Karana Adhyena Dhurina, who is involved in memorizing this root word. Dukri Karane, Dukri Karane, Dukri Karane, Dukri Karane, Dukri Karane is the root word. Dukri is the root word, root, and the meaning is Karana. So, Karane in Saptami is said. So, he is involved too much in that, memorizing it. Shrimat Shankara Bhagavat Shishyehi. Srimad Shankaracharya Bhagavan, along with his disciples, Bodhitaha, when he was given this knowledge, then Asi Chodhita Karanaha, he became one whose minds are cleansed. One whose mind is cleansed, and one who understood the truth. Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Namasmaranadanyat Anyamupayam Nahi Pashyamo Bhavabdhi Tarane. These are all some Pandit shlokas which I don't think it is someone who wanted to, okay, I also want to write some 2 shlokas, so he wrote 2 shlokas. That's all. There's no relation to the original shlokas, because what does he say? Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Like in all these shlokas, when you chant Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, you have to do this as an interlude. So that is why I said in the Bhaja Govindam introduction also that this can be some people do this as bhajan also. So you can just Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam, like that you can go on improvising. So he says Namasmaranad Anyam Upayam. Anyam Upayam. Upayam means. Anyad, another. Upayam, another means. Namasmaranad, from remembering the name, from repeating the name, from chanting the name. Nahi Pashyamaha, we don't see any other great easiest method to understand this self other than remembering the name. Bhavabdhi Tarane, to cross over this ocean of samsara. This is definitely not Bhagavan Bhashyakara, because he is giving importance to Namasmarana to get rid of the samsara. And we just said that by one of the acharyas, where he very clearly says these things won't help you. Even in 100, even in 100 lives, Mukti, 17th shloka, he says, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Pariparanam Athavadanam Jnana Vihinaha Sarvamatena Muktimna Bhajate Janmashatena. Even in hundreds of years, he cannot understand, he cannot get rid of the samsara, he cannot gain liberated, he cannot become liberated without gaining the knowledge. Whether you perform different kinds of penances or go give in charity all your wealth, or go to this Ganga and Sagara or Ganga Sagara, all these places, nothing will happen. So these appendix shlokas, they are written by someone who just wanted to add some 2 shlokas to this, that's all. So there we come to the end of Bhaja Govindam. Very good. So this, along with the main text, when we contemplate on it, this becomes a very powerful tool, because what is this whole text? We said Bhaja Govindam, but we gave it another name. What is that? According to tradition, Moha Mudgara, the weapon to destroy the delusion. The weapon to destroy the delusion. So therefore, when you see it with reference to those 12 shlokas, the 13 shlokas plus this, then it becomes a very powerful tool to destroy the ignorance. So let us do that and try to quickly, as soon as possible, get rid of this ignorance. Tvaraya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.